Less than 2 days since Donald Trump won the presidential election, Americans are still processing the results. The campaign left deep divisions across the country, tearing apart relationships with family, friends, and neighbors. So how do we begin to repair them? In tonight's Eye on America, CBS's Jim Axelrod spoke with a man whose life's work is to help us see the humanity in each other.
For many Americans celebrating, or those mired in despair, it's just too soon for big thoughts like how to bridge the American divide. But not for Dave Isay.
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
The only word that matters is proximity. We've got to stay in contact with people, even if we disagree with them vehemently.
Isay's got one of the more challenging jobs in America at the moment, trying to get us to take one small step closer.
Just remembering that whether you won or whether you lost, that the person on the other side is a human being.
That's the one small step.
That's the one small step.
What are your hopes for the next 4 years?
His nonprofit, StoryCorps, brings people from opposite ends of the political spectrum together for face-to-face conversations.
The only way to effectively lower the flame is to recommit to seeing the humanity in each other.
Yeah, again, it's scary and may make some people absolutely furious to hear me say that this week. We've got to take a step away from this abyss that we're standing on.
After a campaign where $11 billion was spent painting the other side as extreme, he's got some advice for us. Put down our phones, switch off the social media, and the divide might not be as unbridgeable as we think.
These are Kamala voters and these are Trump voters, and they come out friends at the end of this thing.
I mean, that sounds so.
I know. I know. It's crazy. It's hard for me to believe also, but it just is.
In July, we watched a liberal, Gary Sneed, and a conservative, Patrick Kleber, sit down and see the humanity in each other. Today, we asked them what their advice was for us post-election.
Patrick, if I hear you correctly, you're saying there's a lot more that unites us than divides us.
Yes, I think on an individual basis, yes.
No one is saying it's easy.
Patrick, you don't believe in gay marriage. Gary, you have a gay child. How do you work past that and stay connected?
The disagreement doesn't have to lead to complete fracturing and putting up walls between people.
Gary?
You know, I couldn't agree more with Patrick.
So in our fractured nation, as we grapple with how to move ahead, Dave Isay says looking beyond our neighbors' yard signs and into their heads and hearts is an act of patriotism.
It's the most courageous, patriotic thing you can do.
I can hear so many people
turning off the TV.
Yeah, they're in a raw state of mind and they're like, too soon.
If you're not ready this week, just keep it in your mind, maybe next week. And if not next week, next month. Don't give up.
Because giving up on seeing and hearing each other is the only way to ensure defeat. For Eye on America, I'm Jim Axelrod in New York.